Okay, the bill for a bike repair costs $105 for the part and $25 per hour for labor. How much will it cost if the repair takes 4.5 hours? So your units are hours, dollars, and hours. Okay, the time unit is my X, and then dollars is Y. So dollars per hour is $25. So I have my M value because it is a linear equation. So B plus MX equals Y. Okay, so my M is 25. That's established. And then my beginning, remember B is a Y value. Before that you have $105, which you paid just one time. So your equation is 105 plus 25x equals Y. Okay, now 4.5 hours. You got to read your first box. It says hours is X, so that is going in for the X, not the Y. Let's replace the X with 4.5. Okay, and then my Y has no operations I need to do with it, so I just plug that expression into the calculator. So I go 105 plus 25 times 4.5, and I got 217.5, which in money terms means it's $217.50. Okay, next problem. A little out of order this time compared to what I did. A juggler tosses a ball into the air. The ball leaves the juggler's hand 4 feet above the ground with an initial velocity of 40 feet per second. The juggler catches the ball when it falls back to a height of 3 feet. How long is the ball in the air? Okay, so the units are feet and seconds. Y and X. X is seconds, so per feet per second. And the feet per second's 40. Now it's 40 feet, but if you think about it, the ball doesn't just go upward, it travels in a parabola. It goes up, comes back down. So we mark the point where it started, which is 4 feet, and then the ending height is not 0 feet, this problem, it's 3 feet. Okay. So when I have to solve a parabola, I want to write the quadratic equation in standard form. And then that's negative 16, because gravity is what causes it to come down. And then 40x. And then my beginning height, 4 feet, goes here. Now, 3 feet goes into the equation, and it goes in for y. Okay, so I replace the y with 3. Now, x is going to have two answers that make the y have a value of 3 in the actual equation. But these x's can't be combined, so you're going to need your factoring boxes, but you can't have a 3 here. You need a 0 here, so you're going to minus 3 from 4, which is 1. So negative 16x to the second plus 40x plus 1 equals 0. Then I see the 3 terms, so it's GCF and table. GCF, negative, I am going to need the negative. X is not needed. You can go GCF calculator, 1640 and 1 have a GCF of a 1, okay? So negative 1. So that means I'm actually going to do it. So negative 1, and that now becomes positive 16x, which is my A, minus 40x, which is my B, minus 1, which is my C. Okay, now I take A times C. Okay, it's positive 16 times negative 1 is negative 16. So the only way I could factor is if I could find two factors of 14 that make a difference of 40, but that's impossible because right away 1 and 16, that's a difference of 15. So that fails because it's already too small to make 40. Okay, so the quadratic formula, opposite of B, plus or minus the square root, B squared minus 4AC over 2A over 2A. So the opposite of B is 40. you want to circle the 40, plus or minus. And then the square root, you got b, which is negative 40. Then 4, and then a has a value of 16, and c has a value of negative 1. Okay, now your a itself is 16, but 2 multiplied by 16 is 32. You want to circle the 32 then. Now we got to figure out what we're going to add and subtract, and I got to figure out that square root. So I go second, x squared, you need 2 parentheses, negative 40 to the second, and then I subtract 4, 16, and negative 1. And that gives me 40.79. Put that above it. Somebody asked me, do I have to square root 40.7? And no, I just got rid of the square root. Okay, so you take 40 plus 40.79, then divide by 32, 2.52. And then I minus 40 minus 40.79 divided by 32, negative 0.02. Now obviously 2.52 looks like a much better solution, so 2.52 seconds. Okay, next one. A town's population is decreasing by about 4% each year. A town currently has 4,000 people. After how many years will their population be down to 2,500 people? So you have 2 units, years and people. Years is X, people's Y, and then per people per year. Okay, now the people per year doesn't exist. It's a percentage per year, and it's decreasing by 4%, so minus 4%. So first thing I need to do is set up the exponential function, blank times blank to the power of x, because you're taking the people times the percent, but that's repeated every year, so that's x equals blank. Okay, so then I take, this is my percent, this is my people, original, and this is my people, new. Okay, so I take 100% and I subtract 4% since that means minus 4. So that's 96%, and then divide it by 100, it becomes a decimal, 0.96. Okay, so the original amount of people we have is 4,000. And then I don't know the years, okay, so I'm going to circle that and split it. I'm going to have to use log over log at that point, and then the new people's 2,500. So the x equals log over log. Now the 0.96 goes here, okay, that's a given. Now you don't know what goes here until you divide out the 4,000. The 4,000 can't be multiplied, so you need to divide. And one thing I haven't been clear on, the reason you can't times these is because that has a power, that one doesn't. Okay, so you divide both sides, 2,500 divided by 4,000 is 0.625. Okay, and then I see what happens. Okay, log 0.625 divided by log 0.96. Gives me 11.5, so it's going to take 11 and a half years at that rate, that percentage. Okay, next one. Sports equipment store is having a sale on soccer balls and bags. A coach purchases 10 soccer balls and 2 bags for $155 together. The balls cost $9.50 more than the bag. Calculate the cost of each item. Okay, so you got 3 units, so we want to go to our table and look for a possible system. So you got total, or together, not together. You got balls, bags, the 2 things you're buying, and then together. And then how many, the amount per, and the amount total. Okay, so $155 is my total cost. How many? Well, there's 2 non-money amounts that tell you how many. 10 soccer balls 2 bags. You can add those and put 12, but I'm not going to do anything with 12, okay? Now the balls cost $9.50 more than the bag. Now it says more than, so I don't use Y. I put X plus $9.50 in one of the boxes, X for the other. So the balls cost $9.50 more. So the balls is the expression X plus $9.50, and then X is the bags. So here I just write the expression 2X. Here I'm going to get an expression, but I need to distribute the 10. So it's going to be 10X, and then 10 times 9.50 is 95. Here's your equals. Now, remember, your x's are on the same side. They need to just be added. 12x plus 95 equals 155. And I subtract 95 from both sides, and that is equal to 60. So 12 times x equals 60. Then I divide by 12, and x equals 5. Okay, so there's the x. So those cost, the bags cost $5. Now, the balls, you know, X is 5. 5 plus $9.50 is $14.50. Okay. A recreation center charges non-members $4 to use the pool and $5 to use the basketball courts. A person pays $42 for 12 trips to the facilities. How many times did the person use each facility? Again, you got 3 units. And you've got pool, basketball, and together. Okay, how many per in total? Remember to put a $ above per in total. So the total cost together is $42. Non-money amount says 12 trips. Well, that doesn't say which one's which, okay? And it doesn't say 12 basketball or 12 pool. It also doesn't say more than, so 12 is my together. And then I go X and Y. Okay, now to use the pool, you have $4, and the basketball is $5, and then you just write expressions in for the money total, 4X, 5Y. And you got your 2 equations. So you have a system of linear equations. You have X plus Y equals 12, and you also have 4X plus 5Y equals 42. So I have a 4 here, so I'm going to multiply the top by 4 and the bottom by 1. Now, I'll have 4x plus 4y equals 48. And the bottom, I'm going to have 4x plus 5y equals 42. Wait a second. I think I wrote this wrong. It should be $3 to use the basketball courts. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's 3. So 3y. I screwed that up. Okay. All right, so that's a 3y. And then 42. And negative, negative, negative. So those cancel. That makes 1y. And that makes 6. So y is 6. So I use the basketball court 6 times. Now the pool, when I take 12 minus 6, I get 6 as well. So I went to each one 6 times. Okay, I currently owe the bank money for a loan. I pay it back the same amount each month. After 24 months, I still owe $38,360. After 48 months, I still owe $26,720. After how many months will it take me to pay off the loan? That means $0 from the time I started paying, not from 48 months. Okay, 2 units, money and months. Okay, and then per, dollars per month. But I don't know that, but I know that it exists. Y minus Y, X minus X. Okay, remember, Y is money, X is months. Okay, so the money, you got $38,360 and $26,720. And then the months, you got 24 minus 48. Okay, so in the numerator, 38,360 minus 26,720. 11,640. Then 24 minus 48 is negative 24. So I divide those two, and I get negative $485. Now this makes sense because if you're keeping track of the money you owe, it goes down because you're paying it off. So B plus MX equals Y. And that is actual dollars that I find here. So it's 485 negative. Now my B, I need to use Y equals M times X plus B. Circle the B. Your M you have a negative 485. And then my combo, I use 24 months and $38,360. You can also use 48 months and $26,720. It doesn't really matter. I like to just use the first one so I don't overthink it. So X is months, Y is money. So your Y is 38,360, and we take the negative 485 times 24. Okay, so I got my 38,360 equals, now I have an operation I need to do over there. I need to multiply negative 485 by 24, and that's negative 11,640 plus B. Remember, don't divide. B is not being multiplied by anything. You just need to add. It's like B minus 11,640. So I add. And that ends up being 50,000. And that's the beginning amount of money. Okay, now you had to work a little bit for that, but now you have your equation ready to go. You had $50,000 to pay off at the beginning. Then every month you pay, you subtract negative 485x equals y. Okay, now $0 then goes into the equation for my y. Okay, and then you just get rid of the operations around the x. Remember, we're dividing by negative 485, but first I need to subtract the 50,000 because that can't be here. That's negative 50,000. And then I just divide by negative 45. And if I get a decimal, I don't care, okay? As long as it's not negative, okay? Okay, 103 months. If you really wanted to, you could divide 103 by 12, and it would be about 8 years, 8.5, a little over 8.5 years. Okay, then finally, an online music store sells 4,000 songs each day when it charges $1 per song. For each 5-cent increase in price, 80 fewer songs per day are sold. This will raise revenue for a while, but there comes a point where the revenue will start to go down because, keep in mind, less people are buying. After how many price changes should the store stop changing the price? What will the maximum revenue be? So with maximums, I know it's a parabola. I don't need to worry about the units because lines don't have maximums. They're infinite. Okay, so to find the x maximum, it's not factoring in the quadratic formula. It's opposite of b divided by 2a. You just need to come up with an equation where you have an a and a b, an x squared and an x. So I'm going to start with 2 parentheses because this is revenue. And revenue of something equals the money I charge times the quantity of items that I'm able to sell. And this becomes y then. Okay, so you got $1. I know it says per song, but don't put X with that, okay? What you put X on is the 5-cent increase. Increase is adding 5 cents with X. And those are done. Now the items, you got 4,000. Now if that's plus, this is going to have to be minus, because if I raise the price, I sell fewer items. It's not going to make sense to raise the price and have more people buy. Okay, now that's great, but now that's in factored form. I have to now get this in standard form quadratic equation. Okay, I would use Math Papa so you don't make any silly mistakes to get weird answers at the end. Story problems, we want to be precise. So we got 1 plus 0.05x, close parentheses, put a parentheses right next to it, 4,000 minus 80x. Okay, and I got negative 4x to the second. That's my A. 120. That's my B. And 4,000. Now that is my C, but I don't need C for this. So the opposite of B is negative 120, and I multiply the 2 by negative 4, and that's negative 8. So it's 15. Then replace your x's with 15. Okay, and that tells you what y equals at that point. Negative 4 times 15 to the second plus 120 times 15 plus 4,000, 4,900. That's your maximum revenue.